We're on Bluefield Farm and we have just found ourselves a mighty patch of lambsquarters. This is a relative of spinach and very nutritious, quite delicious, and we are just about to harvest ourselves a nice patch to cook today. Boy, we've got quite a bumper bundle of things to work with today. We've just had a couple of days of heavy rain and now it's sunny and everything is just looking so nice and rich and abundant. So we're going to make the most of it. Now, if you've never tried lambsquarters, I highly recommend it. As I say, it is related to spinach. It's I think it's tastier than spinach personally. It's a really nice plant to eat raw. You can eat it cooked. So we're going to gather some. We'll go back to the kitchen and we'll cook it. Now you'll notice I'm just picking the tops, and that's probably the best way to harvest with these, because they will, for each top I pick, they'll grow two to replace it. So these plants will just become nice and bushy. Standing underneath a white pine here, and we have all the immature pine cones here, and at this stage of the game they're filled with pollen. So we're going to pick a bunch of them and see what we can do with them in the kitchen. Now, I've never actually cooked with these before, so this is a new adventure for us, and we'll see what happens.
Our next dish is going to be with lambsquarters, and what I was thinking is we have beer here, which I drank some, but anyway, what's left is going to be our braising liquid for the lambsquarters, and then we have these fantastic pollinated pre-pine cones from the white pines. We're going to use those in this dish. We first start out by just rough chopping the leaves. And putting them in a bowl. Now, lambsquarters, very much like spinach, conventional spinach, is the fact that they're going to, this bowl full will be about a quarter of it once it's cooked. So high water content that will break down in the pan. So we're not going to make much of this, but it's just an idea for you to go home and do this yourself with not very many ingredients. So what I've decided is to do with these white pine buds is to actually remove them from the stem for our dish. I want to leave the pretty ones though for garnish. I'll leave them whole. Our pan is getting nice and hot, and I'm going to add the braising liquid, which is beer. And it's going to foam up beautifully at first, and then the foam goes away, and all of the alcohol is burning off, and just the flavor is left. So the foaming will go away, but then once it's in the pan for a while, it'll start to foam again. And that's when you know it's nice and ready for your greens. So I'm just going to add some sea salt. And at this point I'm going to add our pine buds. Give it a taste. I'm just going to move it onto the platter. And since we're feeding 3, I have 3 poached eggs. You could do your poached eggs in advance and then just put them in hot water to reheat them for like 30 seconds or so. There you go. Looks good.
It does.
And I really tried to do it as simply as possible because the Lambsquarters have, as I said, very delicate flavor.
I know, and I mean, I've cooked them a number of different ways. I've never tried anything as adventurous as this. I mean, it may be simple, but combining it with the pine and the beer, I mean, it's, I've got to try this, you know, it's just
Great.
wonderful.
I'll serve you.
And what I enjoy about cooking and eating with Lisa is that she does stuff that I would never dream of. And somehow it always seems to work out.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Let's give it a go and see what we got here.
Get that runny yolk on there.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Because I love spinach and eggs together, so this
I
is...
do too.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, it's nice. They really, the Lambsquarters don't need much to make them delicious.
No.
And the pine really comes through.
Funny enough, I'm not really tasting the beer.
No, well, the alcohol all burns off. I think it's just, it gives it that depth of flavor that maybe wouldn't be there otherwise.
You did it again.
3 cheers. Wait, it's got some hot sauce.